Good evening. Welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. Hong Kong chucks out nearly 10,000 tons of garbage daily, but this isn't a boon for the city's recycling business. Producer Zhao finds out from industry insiders what obstacles are in their way as the city's capacity to handle waste fast approaches its limit, and what can be done about it.
Hong Kong's container terminals. Millions of tons of cargo pass through each day. Carried on loads of wood pallets that are then discarded, generating the bulk of the city's 300 tons of wood waste thrown daily into landfills. An amount 20% more than waste glass and 40% more than waste metals. Eco Park Tuen Mun, set up by the government as Hong Kong's first recycling hub. William Wong rents space here to recycle waste wood. With funds from his dad's wooden boards factory, William invested $20 million in these recycling machines to shred boards into chips, then compress them into pellets that are sold to mainland China to be burned to generate electricity. But he's been operating for 6 years in the red. One reason, he only manages to collect an average 5 tons of waste wood a day. That's only 12% of his machine's production capacity.
Actually, I'm a bit shocked. When we first invested, we never thought we wouldn't recover enough waste wood.
William asked companies in the container terminals to donate their waste wood, but he says they refuse to spend $600 driving the wood to Eco Park, 45 minutes away. Instead, they drive 7 minutes to the West Kowloon Refuse Transfer Station for $200.
They said it's very hard for us to intentionally transport the wood here. Nothing wrong with that, but I think it's unconscionable.
Most people, although they know the advantage of recycling, but if you ask them to input extra effort to recycle, they may hesitate. The government can set up sufficient number of recycle spots for them to do recycling, to provide convenience places, otherwise they won't recycle. Once the material is concentrated in that spot, it's easy for the recycler to handle those materials.
William has also tried renting his own vehicle to drive around container terminals to collect waste wood. But he got instead
Drinks, shoes, rice boxes, everything you could imagine. In one skip, only a third is wood. 2/3 are other rubbish. Companies refuse to sort out waste. They dump everything in one skip and cart it away. It's the most cost-effective and fastest way.
William's workers have to take on the extra task of separating the wood from other waste, since only wood can be recycled into pellets. Only about 20 companies are donating their waste wood to William.
We're an industrial concern making money according to quantity. If there's insufficient quantity, the costs of utilities, machines, staff, and rent become too high. At worst, we had to stop operating for 3 months until we amassed enough wood waste.
William notes some reprieve came late last year when the government installed the pre-treatment facility at the West Kowloon station to sort out and shred wood waste. William has tendered to recover that waste for his plant.
As long as we get a consistent wood waste supply, we can easily turn our losses into profit.
He plans to continue his business.
From our initial preparations to people beginning to realize wood waste is recyclable, we've spent a lot of time on this. Environmental protection is a long-term, far-sighted investment, at least 2 to 3 decades.
Latest government data show more than 120,000 tons of wood waste are generated a year, but only 5% of that is recycled.
I pity Hong Kong for disposing of so much wood waste. It only takes a few seconds to dump waste wood, but it takes at least 5 to 6 years to grow a tree. If we can reuse wood, it will benefit the earth a lot.
Most of the wood waste are generated by commercial and industrial units. They don't have a mandatory requirement to sort separate the wood waste. Therefore, they are mixed with the normal waste and being disposed of free of charge at the landfill. All right. So, in order for the materials to be sort separated, there must be some incentives. But the value of wood waste is so low that it does not provide any incentive.
To increase the recycling rate, she suggests charging a fee for waste disposal,
which is large enough for the effort and time which is incurred to sort separate materials. The rate of charge for municipal solid waste it will be no higher than their cost of landfilling 1 ton of waste.
6:30 a.m. Scavengers and street cleaners line up at a waste recovery shop for cardboard boxes, old newspapers, and waste metals. They sell these to Lung Hin Fai.
We pay 30 cents per kilo to recover waste metal. Better than nothing. 20 to 30 cents gives them incentive to collect materials for us.
Afai classifies and sells the waste materials to recyclers, but one thing he doesn't take is plastic.
Plastic bottles are worthless now.
1.58 million tons of plastic were recovered in 2010 and 99,000 tons in 2014, down 16-fold. Plastic is made from oil. Plunging oil prices have dragged down the value of raw plastic. It now costs manufacturers the same to buy raw plastic as recycled plastic that's considered inferior in quality. Jackie Lau is a recycler in Changshui. He used to export plastic waste to mainland China and Thailand, but the export price of plastic has fallen 60%. Now he produces pellets from recovered plastic waste for a local pipe maker. Workers separate different kinds of plastic, break them into small pieces, melt them into liquid, and mold them into bars. After cooling, the bars are cut into tiny pellets. But Jackie can't depend on plastic waste alone.
Switching on the machine incurs electricity and other costs, so we need to accumulate more plastic to operate. Due to the insufficient supply of plastic, a factory can't survive, so we also have to rely on other valuable recyclable waste, such as paper, metals, etc.
Last November, the Environmental Protection Department set up a $1 billion matching fund for the recycling industry to invest in machinery, to upgrade collection networks for recyclables, enhance occupational safety, and explore new markets. It requires applicants to match any amount received from the fund.
The recycling fund came too late. In the current economic climate, we are operating at a loss, so who would be interested in investing?
What if I have the best machines already?
94 of Hong Kong's more than 600 recyclers have applied to the fund so far.
Well, I'm not at all surprised by the rather limited responses so far that the fund has attracted. Because of all the policy restrictions, for example, the applicants would not be able to use the money to hire people. They will have to reinvest in order to be able to benefit from the subsidies through this fund. They need more flexibility, especially when they are facing low-value materials.
The value of glass, plastic, and wood waste is comparatively low.
For low-value recyclables such as plastic bottles, if the government can subsidize us $300 or $500, we can afford to recover them.
If the government can hire people to sort out the waste, we can make a bit more profit.
The government will need to quickly review the situation talk to the operators to see to what extent the recycling fund could be better utilized.
Coming up, cat litter made from waste.
Cat owners in Hong Kong, they will just flush it into the toilet. It's flushable.
And the greening of house decor.
If we collect all these good quality wood, solid wood, we make durable furniture, and we don't have to waste all these nice materials.
That and more, stay with us.
Welcome back to the Pearl Report. Some 97% of waste recovered in Hong Kong are processed into secondary raw materials and exported elsewhere. Among the very small percentage recycled for local use are now what's known as upcycled products.
A helmet, plastic bottles, a treasure trove for product designer Kevin Zhao. A rice cooker becomes a bicycle belt. A carpet transformed into a computer bag.
A lot of waste we are throwing out are consumer products, which is done by designer. That gives me rethink, other than designing new product and throw it into the landfill in a few years, why can't we use material in the landfill and make some new product out of it?
5 years ago, Kevin started a business selling environmentally friendly products he made from waste recovered by recycling firms.
呢個夾埋都好多唔同嘢喎。
你啲紙本身已經係唔係太靚嘅紙啦，咁你啲膠又冇乜回收價值啦。
This paper recycler collects a lot of documents.
They will shatter it and recycle the paper, but the box file who carries the paper can never be recycled because they have plastic on the outside, it have a lot of metal part. They can't afford the manpower to take all these apart. Waste that is difficult or even impossible to deal with. So it turns out have to throw it in the landfill.
But a box file, in Kevin's mind, can be a speaker cabinet on a bookshelf.
你幫我扭翻呢個螺絲出嚟，換呢個戒指入去啊！
The worker solders an electronic loudspeaker inside the box file, then puts a volume control on the side. Where does he get this done?
We can't find any factory in Hong Kong shipping all this waste to a different place and ask the worker over there to make the product and ship the finished product back. The logistics itself in this part is not eco-friendly. We will struggle in that point.
Then he turned to sheltered workshops for disabled people, like the one run by St. James Settlement.
It takes time for them to pick up the skill to make this product. We simplify the assembly process of the products and we teach them how to make it, and now they're doing it very well.
Upcycled goods, though, are just a smidgen of the total amount of waste Hong Kong is producing.
Upcycling is a recycling process to make it even more valuable than its original material because it's usually very labor intensive. You cannot realistically expect upcycling to take away a lot of waste from our waste stream.
The core thing is not by doing upcycling, eliminate the whole landfill problem. It will never be. The most important thing is by selling the product to educate the society how much potential this waste still has.
Furniture designer Mingwai Wong and her friend who majored in civil engineering started their upcycling workshop in Kwai Chung 3 years ago.
We collect the wood and categorize them into different types. If it's a good piece of solid wood, it doesn't matter how old or new or where does it come from or what it's used before. As long as you sand it and remove all these metal parts, it becomes a new piece of wood.
A piece of teak becomes a chair.
If anyone call us and say, I have some old materials, we actually estimate the conditions, the amount, and the location and how difficult we have to take it out is kind of go against our own concepts. If we take a batch of wood that we can't make furniture, then we will waste the cost and then we will waste all the energy involved in the process, and the wood will end up in the landfill anyway.
A year and a half ago, Mingwai recovered nearly 120 tons of pine floorboards from a 28-story service apartment complex that was being renovated. That was the largest amount of waste wood she's ever collected.
Actually, they save the cost of hire the labor to take out the boards.
Mingwai spent nearly $200,000 to remove the floorboards and transport them to her workshop. Over 3 years in operation, she's made hundreds of chairs, benches, cupboards, as well as interior design artifacts out of waste wood for restaurants, shops, and malls. Mingwai's upcycled teak chairs go for $800 each, a shelf $3,900, a cupboard $4,400, all below market prices for similar items brand new. She says her business is just starting to break even.
It's very labor intensive and time consuming. We have to use lots of space for storage, and a storage space doesn't generate profit at all. The rent's actually a big percentage of the cost.
Rent is $30,000, labor costs $150,000 per month. Mingwai's confident she'll turn a profit this year.
We actually gaining lots and lots of returning customers. We had orders from lots of organizations like universities, companies with green concerns.
One customer is Life Workshop, an NGO in Yau Ma Tei.
We ordered customized cabinets on wheels and desks made of recycled teak wood. They did the measurements and the design. The price is quite reasonable.
A privately owned organic waste recycling center in Changshui. Leftovers from restaurants and hotels, expired food from supermarkets, and soya pulp from tofu manufacturers are collected by workers here. Though biodegradable, food waste takes up space and emits odors in landfills. Piri Leung has a project at the center to recycle soya pulp it collected last year.
After we collect the soya pulp, we dry them first because soya pulp has a lot of protein content. It's very easy to be rotten. After the drying, we put it into a grinder to make it to fine powders. We mix it with other ingredients to make it clump. After that, we put it into extruders, so it will be an absorbent pallet.
The final product is biodegradable cat litter, containing 90% soya waste.
Cat owners in Hong Kong, they will just flush it into the toilet. It's flushable. We have been comparing our product with lots of tofu cat litter we can buy in Hong Kong, mostly Japanese brand, and we compare the performance. We are not anything worse than that.
I really like the product because it's made in Hong Kong, and I know it's made from recycled soy product that would otherwise go to landfill. And I know the ingredients are all food-based quality, so it's very safe for the cat, and I don't worry about her maybe licking it, or when she touches it, I know it's going to be safe for her.
Piri spent 6 months testing the upcycling of soya pulp into cat litter.
We want to use waste, but as you can imagine, waste are not always the cleanest things, and they don't come in a very good quality. And we take a lot of energy and also time to sort out the better ones, so we can maintain our quality standard of our product.
Piri recycles around 80 tons of soya pulp a month, but it can only produce 3 to 5 tons of cat litter. He's planning to boost production to 8 to 10 tons a month soon. But Piri is hardly denting the estimated 70 tons of soya pulp Hong Kong produces every day.
If you're a more environmental friendly person, you can use it for your plants. And everything we use are food grade and everything is derived from plants, so there's no harm to the environment. Soya plum can be used as animal feed and also compost for agriculture. However, agricultural activities in Hong Kong are not very vigorous, so over 90% of soya plum generated in Hong Kong are direct to landfills. But we found that maybe we can do something with it. There are a lot of ways which has value, it can be used as resource. At this moment, it's not the best time to start your recycling company. But in the long run, as the government, as the society understand we have to take a responsibility to clean up our mess, then it will be a different story. So we have hope in the industry.
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, as well as on tvb.com. Until next time, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck, and good health.